Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Danielle, Cheryl, I don't know about you guys, but I know we all have bucket lists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, all the places that we want to go or things that we want to try while we still have a chance. And I don't know about you guys, but just like me, skydiving is on that list.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've tried that. I want to do it again. I know our next guest thrives on adventure, fell in love with skydiving the very first time she tried it, and her story is one you will definitely never forget. Please welcome to Main Street Living, Jordan Hatmaker. Jordan, thanks for making time for us today.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
So, can you tell us the story of how you first fell in love with skydiving?
Sure. Yeah. Back in 2015, I had a bunch of friends that were into skydiving, and, they just kind of encouraged me to try out a tandem jump. And I said, why not just try something once, So I really loved it. I loved the feeling of kind of flying through the air. But then when I reached the ground, I'm like, man, that was kind of slow. I think on my own would be a lot more thrilling.
Whoa. Oh my gosh. That's so amazing to hear that. And then you just kept doing it and doing it, really fell in love with it. And a jump in November of 2021 changed your life. Now, this one is going to give a lot of people goosebumps. Tell us exactly what happened.
Yeah, sure. I was halfway through my skydiving license training, and it was my 16th solo jump. And I jumped out with a coach. A coach jumped out after me. She gave me some drills to do in the air with hand signals. Everything went fine. And then we went away from each other to pull our parachutes. And I pulled mine, and the pilot chute, which is the small parachute before the large canopy, it wrapped around my leg. So the main canopy didn't come out. So I kind of free fell from 4,000 feet to about 750 feet when my automatic reserve fired. So yeah, it was really kind of scary. I just went into survival mode, strategy mode. And then around 200 feet, my main actually kind of wiggled loose from its bag, and the reserve and the main dragged away from each other and kind of accelerated me to the ground.
Oh.
I mean, this is the kind of thing that people are terrified of with skydiving. It's really a miracle that you survived the fall. What was the recovery process like?
So I endured a spinal cord injury, which is the most severe injury. They're pretty rare. I broke my back from a bunch of vertebrae. And so I had a spinal fusion. And then I also broke my tibial ankle area. So the recovery process, it's been a long one, but I spent a month in the hospital, and then I started walking in February, which actually 3 months to the day of the accident.
Oh
Wow,
my
that's
goodness.
incredible.
You hear this and you seem so positive. You're so beautiful. Nobody would ever know this happened to you. I want to take you back to that moment, though, when you were free falling and things weren't working. What was going through your mind at that point?
For me, I didn't really have time to freak out. I've also been always pretty calm in emergency situations, but I just thought, okay, I have to figure out a way to get this off of my leg. And things just go so much quicker than you expect. From 4,000 feet to the ground, I only had about 20 seconds. So I tried to get it off my leg. I should have pulled my reserve, but hindsight's 2020. And just survival strategy mode. I didn't think it was going to be as bad as it ended up being.
Were you unconscious when you hit the ground?
No, I never lost consciousness, actually. So I do remember everything.
Oh.
Your fight or flight kicking in, that adrenaline probably keeping you awake. It's good to know that it actually works. So you're a living story to tell us that.
Yeah.
That must have been obviously very anxiety producing once everything finally happened. How are you doing now? Do you still have anxiety when you jump or anything like that that's carried over?
I actually haven't jumped yet. I I graduated from physical therapy this week after 6 months.
Aw.
Yeah, so thanks. Yeah, I'm sad to leave my physical therapy crew, who's been such a big part of my life, 5 hours a week every week. But yeah, I'm excited. I went from not being able to lift my legs to doing leg presses with one leg at
Wow.
110 pounds. So yeah, I'm really excited. I went on a 12-mile hike last Saturday, and
Aw.
yeah, and I'm going to Mount Everest in November.
Wow.
So speaking of bucket lists, you've got so much and you're not stopping, which is why you're such an inspiration to so many people. How has this changed your outlook on life? Because I know when you go through a near-death experience, it really opens your eyes about what's important.
Yeah, it really does. I always kind of lived my life to the fullest, but it really opened my eyes to, don't sweat the small stuff. We spend so much time analyzing so many little things in our lives and making a big deal out of things that really shouldn't be. And, when you almost lose your life, or, you're almost paralyzed for the rest of your life, you really take those things with a grain of salt. And I'm just so much more grateful for life and for the opportunity to have the mobility that I have.
Yeah.
We all need that message, really. So I'm glad you're here to tell people today. And I know you mentioned you just kind of wrapped up physical therapy, but perhaps going back to start skydiving again, what would pull you back to it?
Yeah, I want to skydive again. I guess, get back on the horse, get back in the saddle. I need to get this. I feel like I need to conquer just this last challenge. And I feel like it'll be like the closure to my whole recovery and this whole accident. Whether I end up going to get my skydiving license again, I'm not sure. I do want to do that, but I'm just kind of taking it one step at a time. I'm going to do a tandem first, and then I'm going to see if I can get back into some solo jumps, hopefully here in the next couple months, September or October. So yeah.
You are so brave, and I know that your story is inspiring so many people. How can our viewers keep up with you, and where can they follow you and learn more about your journey?
Yeah, sure. They can follow me at Oh Shoot Jordan on Instagram. Shoot is spelled CHUTE, and Jordan JORDAN.
Oh, wow.
I love
Thank
it.
you
And,
so
and still the
much.
sense of humor with the,
Yes.
the Oh Shoot.
It's how you got to get through the hard stuff, just laugh about it.
I love it.
Jordan, thank you so much for joining us here on Main Street Living.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. Well, Danielle, oh my goodness, she is incredible, going to high heights like that. And speaking of things that are too high, are your grocery bills too high? If so, you're not alone, and we'll explain what's going on next.